My God, I hate trucks.
We begin with this breaking news. Authorities are now investigating the bombing incident in Sultan Kudarat earlier this morning, which injured at least 7 people. It comes just hours before President Rodrigo Duterte is set to visit the adjacent province of Maguindanao for the decommissioning ceremony of about 1,000 Moro rebels. Our senior correspondent, David Santos, joins us from Isulan town. Hi, David. What can you tell us?
Well, Claire, we're here in front of the Isulan public market, no? And authorities here, if you can see from behind me, have cordoned off about half a kilometer of the Isulan National Highway just in front of this public market. Now, this is to let investigators to comb the site. Earlier, we saw them scouring the site of the explosion as well as the adjacent areas in search of clues that can help them in their investigation. Now, the powerful explosion ripped through several parked motorcycles just in front of a bakery beside this public market shortly past 7 this morning. Initial reports say at least 4 people were injured from the blast and were immediately rushed to different medical centers here in Isulan. The military, however, in an updated report said at least 7 people were reported hurt. Now, there is no word yet on the condition of the blast victims who are now confined in at least 3 medical centers here in Isulan. Now, this incident happened, as you mentioned, just hours before President Duterte is scheduled to witness the decommissioning ceremony of Moro Islamic Liberation Front rebels. That will happen this afternoon in Sultan Kudarat town in Maguindanao province. Claire.
Yeah, so you did mention the decommissioning ceremony later on. How will this blast affect in any way this decommissioning ceremony of the MILF rebels, which President Duterte will witness later today?
Well, Claire, the Western Mindanao spokesman in a message sent to us said that the decommissioning ceremony will still push through as scheduled. Isulan town, where we are now, is about 100 kilometers from where the decommissioning event will happen. That is in Sultan Kudarat town in Maguindanao. That's more than about 2 hours of land travel from these 2 points. Now, even before the blast, Claire, authorities have been on alert. On our way here to Isulan from Cotabato City, we noticed several military and police checkpoints. They're about 2 to 3 kilometers apart. That gives you a sense of how expanded or comprehensive, if I may say, the security preparations have been prepared here, especially with the visit of the president. We should also remember, Claire, that Mindanao remains under martial law for over 2 years now, and unfortunately, despite these security preparations, lawless elements still manage to slip through security and carry out this bombing incident here in Isulan.
Now, the blast, David, happened in a public market, as we know. So there must be a couple of business establishments around the area. So can you tell us about what is the condition or the mood right now in that area, and if it's affecting in any way the business establishments around there?
But there are banks, restaurants, drugs, a known drugstore, fast food chains lined up in this part of the National Highway of Isulan, with the authorities closing down a portion of this highway. Of course, definitely there is no traffic at this time as we speak. So people who want to go to these establishments have to walk to these establishments because vehicles are not allowed to come through here. But there is no word yet until when the authorities will keep this part of the highway closed, although we are getting indications that they could open this anytime soon. We saw a number of police men and police women sweeping, literally sweeping the highway, perhaps an indication that they're trying to clear it off now after their investigators have combed through or scoured this area in search for clues. So we're hoping that at any time soon this could be opened and traffic could go back to normal in this part of Mindanao, Claire.
All right. Thank you, David, for that update. That was our senior correspondent, David Santos, reporting to us live from Isulan in Sultan Kudarat. And we now speak to West MinCon spokesperson, Major Arvin Encinas. Good afternoon. Thank you for taking our call, sir.
Yes, Claire. Good afternoon.
Sir, ano po yung mga initial results of the investigation ng bombing this morning dyan sa Isulan Town in Sultan Kudarat?
Actually, as of this time, our military and police are currently conducting investigations in all possible deaths will be investigated to give justice to all those victims that resulted nga ito on a wounding of one government forces, which is a member of CAPCO or KAA, and 6 civilian others were wounded. Lahat man po yan sila were brought to provincial hospital.
Pero saan na kayo ngayon sa investigation? May naririnig ba kayo as to if there were any CCTV cameras in the area na tinitingnan nila right now?
Actually, merong available na CCTV footage on that explosions at doon po sa ginagawang investigation ng ating EOD, meron naman pong na-recover na mga chips o parts ng cellphone that initially, as per investigation ng ating EOD team, possible po na command detonated itong ginamit na it was placed inside the box na nilagay nga po doon beside doon sa nakapark na motorcycle sa harapan po ng marketplace.
Posible ba ho na na-capture din ng CCTV yung pagplant ng improvised explosive device?
Posible po at yan pong isa sa mga tinitingnan po ng ating PNP doon sa kanilang ongoing investigation at siyempre paano hindi pa po natin po pwedeng i-divulge yung mga nakita on before doon sa explosion upang sa ganoon nga hindi po ma-distract itong ginagawa nating investigation dahil tuloy po yung ginagawang mass hunt operation. Nagkaroon po tayo ng intensified checkpoint operations upang sa ganoon nga posible po nating mahuli itong mga salarin itong pagpapasabog again yan po sa Isulan.
Sir, what do we know about the suspect or suspects? Meron ba kayong initial leads as of this time?
All possible lead will be investigated. All threat graphs actually in the area, hindi po natin yan discount. DBI and other lawless elements diyan po sa Maguindanao na malapit na po diyan sa pinangyarihan ng Sultan Kudarat. Kung kaya yan po yung isa sa mga tinitingnan po natin. So tuloy-tuloy po yung ginagawang investigation ng ating EOD dahil nga doon sa mga na-recover yung parts pa lang ng cellphone ang nakuha natin doon at the same time yung pinaglagyan. Wala pa po tayo mga nakitang ibang ebidensya na mag-uugnay dito po sa ating mga threat groups.
How about witnesses, sir? May nakausap ba kayong mga witness?
Yes po. Actually, yan po yung tuloy-tuloy na kinakausap po natin, particularly ng PNP doon po sa mga tao na nandoon within the vicinity.
Ano po daw sabi ng mga witness, sir?
Yes, so this time, gaya po nabanggit natin, initially, upang hindi po na ma-distract yung investigation natin, hindi pa po natin masabi. But then again, we will ensure the public na we will give justice sa lahat po ng mga naging biktima.
Okay, yung mga injured right now, kamusta naman ho sila?
Lahat po yan. After nung explosion ay naidala po agad yan sa provincial hospital ng Sultan Kudarat at yan po yung patuloy po nating minomonitor. Wala naman pong mga sinasabi natin na talagang major injured doon po sa mga naging biktima at we hope na tuloy-tuloy po yung kanilang paggaling.
Okay, maraming salamat ho, West MinCon spokesperson Major Arvin Encinas. CNN Philippines will continue to gather information on this breaking story. We will bring you more details as soon as they become available. Now, fighters of the Moro Islamic Liberation Front are set to begin laying down their arms today. This is part of the decommissioning process of the former separatist group. It's a significant milestone in the 2014 Comprehensive Bangsamoro Agreement. Under the peace accord, the government created the Bangsamoro Autonomous Region. This was approved in a plebiscite in January and February of this year. David Santos returns with this report.
It will be another day of triumph for peace when about 1,000 MILF fighters gave up their weapons across 8 sites in Mindanao. They're part of the 12,000 combatants who will be decommissioned in Phase 2 of this process. Altogether, they are expected to turn in some 900 firearms by March next year.
Ilibing mo na yan, di mo kailangan. Isang putok lang yan gulo. Pero kung tahimik tayo, mag-usap tayo, at maibigay naman yung gusto ninyo na tulong na dapat talaga sa inyo.
President Rodrigo Duterte will lead the ceremony along with Presidential Advisor on the peace process, Carlito Galvez Jr.
Napaka-importante ng commissioning kasi ito yung magre-represent na talagang they are ready to change their lives. Ang MILF ang magiging ehemplo na makikita nila ang buong Mindanao ay magde-decommission.
The first decommissioning process was held in 2015, a year after the signing of the Comprehensive Agreement on the Bangsamoro between President Benigno Aquino III and MILF Chairman Alhaj Murad Ibrahim. And over the next 2 years, the remaining 28,000 MILF fighters will have their turn. The independent decommissioning body will oversee this 4-part disarming process until 2022 when President Duterte's term ends. The team is chaired by Turkey with representatives from Norway and Brunei. 2 Filipino experts are also part of the contingent. They were jointly nominated by the government and the MILF. The team will be in charge of safekeeping the firearms. Some of the decommissioned fighters will be involved in guarding the weapons. But once processed and profiled, each former rebel will be awarded a package of benefits to help them and their families begin a new life.
Yung package will range from about 500,000 to 1 million pesos. Depends on how you will quantify the different packages na ibibigay kasi meron yang para sa education, para sa training, para sa livelihood.
It has been a long journey since the government's first exploratory talks with the Muslim separatist group in 1996 under the Ramos administration. There were roadblocks, more fighting, and many lives lost since. But with the creation of the Bangsamoro Autonomous Region earlier this year, an interim government in place, and the silencing of guns, many are hoping long and lasting peace could finally be achieved in Mindanao. David Santos, CNN Philippines.